there. I am Karen Thomas, and welcome to our Summit Seekers virtual Thursday morning coffee chat. We discuss different things in business, different problems, different ways to solve it. Our community comes together to give you ideas. Of course, if you are seeing this on the replay, give us a hashtag replay and maybe a comment about what is an aha moment, maybe what helped you. And of course, if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in our community chat, please directly message me and I would be glad for us to discuss it. Love to hear from you. So I'm going to start right now. We have one of our community members here and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, I am Vedra Moon. I am an insurance agent and also a health and wellness coach, and I'm all the way in Charleston, South Carolina. Thank you.
Yay! So we're going to have a topic today is about Facebook and Facebook jail. Because I was sending messages yesterday and all of a sudden Facebook sent me a message on Messenger that I could not post, that I had sent a message that violated or somehow was not part, it wasn't up to par, it violated community standards according to the message. I'd have to pull it up to see it exactly because I keep getting it every time I go to read a message, I get to see again that according to Facebook, I violated the community standard in one of my messages. Now, I was doing birthday messages, which I have done. If anybody has received a birthday message from me, at the time that I was doing it, I was sending out birthday messages. So what do you do when all of a sudden life takes away something that is really important to your business or in your family? How do you deal with it? What is something that you use to handle the stress of that? Or what is your thinking on having something just ripped out of your venue? All right, Ms. Vedra, what you think?
Oh man, that is definitely such an inconvenience when it's just about learning to adapt and just also not sweating the small stuff.
Right.
Like, yes, if it's something that you're used to doing on a consistent basis, then all of a sudden it's just taken away from you. It's about focusing on what you can do and
Right.
like paying less attention to things that you have no control over.
Okay. I mean, people wake up in the morning and the cars won't start. Dog
Yes.
bolts out of the house and they are chasing the dog. Things happen in our day all the time that all of a sudden say, oh my God, what am I going to do? So now my thought on this is where as my mentor, Peter Sage would say, here's where the talk meets the road. And can you walk the road doing the same talk? So I've had several situations in the last 2 weeks. This Facebook one is just another one. And I'm like, okay, can't send messages. That's all right. I got email. I've been working on building my email. It's okay. I put a notice in the group and I did at everyone. So hopefully everybody got the message that I'm not ignoring anybody. And if you have my phone number or you have my email me. You can message me. I just can't message you back. So my email is in my intro or in my about section. So do you have your email in your about section?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I should change that.
Well, the thing is you're posting your phone number. I have my phone number and my email in my intro because my profile is public. I don't mind people reaching out. I want them to be able to get in touch with me. So when things happen, it's a matter of not blowing up.
Yes.
Blowing up, cussing, telling everybody how bad Facebook is doesn't solve anything. when your car can't start, yelling at it, kicking the tires. So the part of this talk that I wanted to address is your emotional state. Because how you emotionally take these incidences, having a car crash, any number of things that ought to, throw you into a tizzy solves it doesn't. And it's easy to say because, I'm sitting here in Facebook jail, in Messenger
Yes.
jail. And it's like, okay, life is now saying, you want to be more in control. You want to say that you are a master of your psychic. Let's test this out. Life
And
sends the test.
it sure does. And like with you being in Facebook jail in Messenger, I think that's also an opportunity to possibly explore other social platforms like TikTok,
That's
LinkedIn,
it.
Instagram. And like I'm not very active on TikTok, but I do plan on like just figuring it out because sometimes it's just so overwhelming when there's just so many social platforms and it makes it
Mhm.
easier to just focus on one. But
It
when
does.
something happens with one, then at least you do have the option to pivot to a different social platform.
Right. So that's, where I was hoping that a few more of the community would be here because how everybody deals with that is going to be different. My suggestion and what I've been doing is because I'm ADHD, impulse control has not been one of my strong points. And it's so easy, in telling people the rants, already on the post in the group, you have oh, that's just Facebook's BS. That's, you already get the negative with it.
Yes.
So, when you have a car crash, I was, I've told people that I Uber and it's hot here, just like it is in South Carolina. And I was putting up the windshield reflector and I was moving my rear view mirror out of the way, to get it up under it.
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
came off in my hand.
Oh.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I drove a school bus for, so many years. You
Oh,
technically don't
okay.
need a rear view mirror. If you've got side mirrors, you don't need it. So anyway,
Okay.
I was Ubering this morning because I'm going off this afternoon with my daughter. And so I was Ubering and I had a rider actually turn me in for not having my rear view mirror up.
Oh
And
my
it's like,
goodness.
okay, so Uber turned off my app. I couldn't get any more rides. And I'm like, okay, I have that. I'm in Facebook jail. I had a little car accident last week that somebody ran into my door. I'm like, okay, life is just really, I'm having a pop quiz on keeping my demeanor and not playing the victim. It's so easy to play the victim.
It is. Yeah.
Poor pitiful me. Oh my God, look at this. How, life happens to us. Like you said, this is an opportunity for me to explore other options in anything. I can do Lyft now. I don't have to do Uber. I just, I thought, okay, it's been 2 weeks. I talked to my mechanic. He said he could glue it back on. So, of course, I went by there today and he said, well, part of the glass and it's not, he says, I don't know. You might have to have a windshield. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like, okay, I'm just letting life happen and saying, okay, if this is what has to happen, then this is what we deal with. But it's not poor pitiful me. It's not cussing at Facebook. It's not cussing at the customer. If they had a concern, they had a concern. I know
Yeah.
as a professional driver that, and you know, the state laws is that if I had one, I have to have one by my inspection. But for driving purposes, as long as you have your side view mirrors,
Yeah.
you don't have to have the rear view mirror. Most people just get used to using it and depending on it, and they don't use their side view mirrors. That's why they run into things.
Hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. But It's about learning how to roll with the punches
Yeah.
and not blaming life or blaming the platform. As we were kind of discussing a little bit, it's Facebook's platform, it's messengers, they have bots. It's not a person out there deciding. It's a bot. It's a part of a computer program that either I did too many, I did it flagged something for whatever reason it decided. And I'm just going to be thankful it's only 7 days, because
Okay.
they could have made it permanent. They can remove your account.
Oh.
They don't have to have you on there. So, and this is why, another reason why I asked for or do email addresses when people come into the group, because stuff happens.
Yeah.
Were you a part of social media when Facebook went down for 10 hours?
Yes, I was.
I mean, you always have to have a backup. And this is another reason in bringing up this discussion. If you have a company, I don't know that you have it so much, Vidra, because with being in insurance, you run your own stuff.
Yeah.
But for people who sell like Avon and Scentsy and Tupperware, they have company websites, right? People are buying
Yes.
online at their company websites, right?
Yeah.
You should download your email addresses, because if by any chance the company goes bankrupt, the company is goes goes down, you know, we in this day and age with technology, you don't know. Verizon was out in 3 states. I had no phone off and on day before yesterday. Verizon was out in 3 states.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
I
that.
had,
And
huh?
I didn't know that. And I have Verizon as well.
If you're in the house, it worked on Wi-Fi. It wasn't until I went out of the house and I went to use the GPS and it's sitting there spinning.
Oh.
Okay. Saying it's been one of those weeks. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? Well, because I'd had a credit card problem and a credit card had replaced it, I said, was my bill on that one? I went home to see if I paid my bill. I can't be out. Went back and said, okay, why don't I have phone service? And then, of course, it eventually catches up with you that they are having an issue. But for those
Okay.
moments when it's not working and you're used to your phone, it's like, oh my God. Okay, well, what do I do? I go back home. I can't go where I needed to do, can't do what I was going to do, and without my phone. So I came back home. But for 40 minutes, I have phone service in my house because I have it on Wi-Fi. Everything worked on my phone in the house,
Nice.
including my calls. So the thing is you need to make sure that your phone contacts are all backed up, that you download your emails from your company website, because you never know. Companies have gone down, websites have disappeared. You never know where. You can't count on sometimes what you're used to always being there every day, all day long.
Yeah, that's true.
So, how can you be proactive in making sure that you have what you need in case you lose one part of it? Always have your emails backed up, your phone contacts, so that if by chance, because when people buy from you, they buy from you.
Yeah.
If the company website goes down and all of a sudden the people can't buy on the website, you need to be able to get in touch with them and say, hey, there's been a problem, the server, the hosters, or whatever, don't worry, the company has reached out on phone and will be back in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You have to have the ways to keep up with your customers outside of and not depend on your company.
Yeah.
Because you deal with several companies, don't you, Vidra?
Yes, I do. Like, there are quite a few.
That's what I'm saying. Yours isn't all in a company one, so you have your own email stuff with on an email service, right?
Like for the insurance business, yes, I do.
Okay. Well, you should be backing it up and have a export of it at least once a month, once every 6 months.
Yeah, I never thought of that because like all the emails that I've just left it on the insurance company's website, but backing it up definitely would be useful.
Everything is exportable.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how, you know, Google it.
Yes.
There's a YouTube video for everything.
Yes,
Go
there
on
is.
YouTube. How do I back up my emails? How do I pull it off my company one? You could even probably say, how do I get my customers' emails off my Avon account? There's somebody's made a video on how to do it. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So being proactive, it saves you the hassle of losing everything. Because if you drop your phone in waters, I mean, a lot of them are
Oh,
waterproof, but you know, I'm going on a boat ride today, going dolphin watching with my daughter. If
oh,
my phone
fun.
went over the boat, you know, what would I do? Where are my
Memory.
contacts? Well, most of them are on with my emails, and everything would be backed up. But the thing
Yes.
is all my photos and this and that, I have them all backed up. If I lost my phone, what would you do? How could you replace everything? What would be lost? Because stuff happens.
It sure does.
Isn't it the Allstate commercial that says mayhem is here? I am Mr. Mayhem.
I love those commercials.
They are really cute. Getting upset, cussing, being a victim doesn't solve any of your problems, and it's really bad for your health. But if you can look when stuff happens and say, okay, what can I do while this is going on? How can I be my best version of myself through this challenge or this problem? Is sometimes more beneficial with coming up with a solution than saying, poor pitiful me. Oh my God, they're so bad.
Mhm.
And playing it out like we see so many people do on social media. And even, I mean, comics make fun of it all the time about how people go ballistic over stuff going wrong.
Yeah.
But life is, it just depends on how you decide to think about life. Life is about, if you somebody one of the mentors explained it this way: you're praying for patience. I'd really Are you a real patient person? Some of us have more patience than others. And you're praying for patience, and we're praying for patience, and you're saying, I just need more patience. And so you keep getting these problems, and you're asking God, why does all these, do I have all this? And he says, you asked to learn patience, didn't you?
That is true.
If you look at life as giving you the ways to improve yourself, instead of it being that it's something to hurt you or to cause you problems, is that it's a way for you to improve who you are. It becomes a whole different experience, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if you haven't backed up everything, I suggest everybody back stuff up.
So far, the only things that I've been backing up is just my contacts on my phone because I'm so used to upgrading phone every few years. So I've gotten in the habit of when I save a contact on my phone, I make sure it automatically saves it on my Gmail account.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But as far as everything else, I haven't done much as far as backing it up. It's just on my phone and like my pictures as well. I make sure it's always saved on Google Photos.
Right. It's just an idea, because you just never know when things are happening and what do you want to lose. And you've got all those ones of your mom and sister having visited. You definitely
Yes.
don't want to be losing any of that.
No, not at all.
No. Mm-mm. I thought of your mom and your sister. I Ubered a girl that was off. I live in a port city that does shipping,
Okay.
and I picked her up at Walmart. And she was going back to her ship, but she was from South Africa. She was a merchant marine
Oh,
from South
fun.
Africa, and she would go out. She said that she normally goes out for 6 or 7 months, and she's in 2 months she'll be home, and she'll be home for 3 months. But
Nice.
she that's what she does, is that she works on those container ships, the great big
Okay.
container. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know Savannah, you're in Savannah. Oh no, you're in Charlestown.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Charleston is a port city as
I was
well.
going to say Charleston's. I figured you were in a port city, and you knew what I meant by the
Yeah.
great big
Mhm.
cargo and container ships. I'm here with Norfolk and Portsmouth are the big shipping ports here that do the containers, and of course the coal ships and everything. The trains come in with all of the stuff, and but anyway, it's just always I meet so many interesting people. I love doing it for a couple hours, just because it keeps me real and talking to people. You can get so lost on just doing Facebook and TikTok where you're talking to a screen, and it's even though the Zooms are nice, and that's why I prefer to have Zooms with people, because at least with a Zoom it feels more real
Yes, it does.
and feels more connected than just responding or just messages. um, Now there's a lot of people that like to use the voice recorders on their messages, and so many times I'm doing stuff where I can't record stuff that I'm just so used to texting it. But a lot of people find that more personal, and I've got to get better at doing that. But I normally end up texting everything mostly in Messenger or in text. It makes refreshing my conversations with somebody easier.
Okay.
Do you do a lot of voice recordings?
No, I don't. I don't like the sound of my voice. I know, not
Well, see me,
often.
right. Well, see, to me, it's just easier, when you're talking to 10, 20, 30 people a day, it's hard to remember all the conversations. So
That too. Yeah.
when I'm getting ready to have a meeting with somebody, or I need to refresh what I'm doing, it's easier to go back through all the written text in Messenger or on my text phone to see where I left off with that person.
Yeah, texting messages definitely makes a lot of sense because there have been times I want to respond to somebody's message and they sent a voice message, then I'd have to listen to the message first. Whereas just reading it, it's so much easier.
So much easier. So I have a hard time because I want to know what I said. It's just easier to read down it. So I haven't gone to the voice messages as much, just simply because I wanted to be able to keep up with what I've said to them, and my responses to them. But so any other things we want to discuss today?
Um, the last week's assignment, that was fun, but I haven't done it yet as far as taking on a different character and
Oh, with the master class. Okay, with
uh,
the we talked about Forbes and her pretending to be somebody else. She'd, go to a networking or go to a party, and she'd pretend to be somebody else.
I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but it's definitely fun. And I just thought of like the beginning stages as far as pretending to be someone else, and I've already shared it with some friends, and they just thought it's hilarious. So I will claim to be Princess Vedra from the Kingdom of Lesotho, which is a small country that is within South Africa. It's a
Right?
landlocked country.
Mm-hmm.
And how I ended up in the US is because my in my culture, it's customary to do arranged marriages, and my dad had accepted a bride price of 20 cows, and I was just so offended.
You ran away.
Because I'm like, I'm not going to be somebody else's property for 20 cows.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, and we're talking about this in a fun way, not trying to deceive anybody, but just trying on the acting, because when you can pull off pretending or knowing stuff about and acting in a different role, it makes talking about solutions, and it makes your conversations easier because they become more fun. You're not worried about all of the little stuff.
Yes.
So I haven't done it either. I thought that was really unique, and I don't do a lot of grocery shopping. I'm not out a lot. So
Me neither. Like I get grocery delivery from Walmart, and with doing telesales for my insurance business from home and anything else that I'm doing, I very rarely go out. Like my car
right,
could be in the garage for weeks on end.
that's it. Well, I agreed to go. Our neighborhood is having a barbecue this Saturday.
Oh,
And I
fun.
decided, I said, I'm going to go meet my neighbors. And because I live in a nice big area, I said, and I'll take a dish and I'm going to go network with my neighbors and, be out. And, because we've been so closed in and we've gotten so used to working from home and working on the computers, that's why I like to Uber, because it gives me in conversations with real people.
Yes.
So the for most people, they don't like networking. And when you take it, and you don't want to do networking where you pretend to be somebody else, because you're networking to expand your business.
Yes.
But when you are out in social, where you're at a bar, you're out at a barbecue, where you're mingling with people that you may not know real well or don't know you, it could be a way to try to get comfortable with expressing yourself out of your norm. A lot of people, that's why a lot of actresses and stuff say it's easier to play somebody else. They research it, they do it. And because sometimes people are uncomfortable with who they are.
That is true. Yeah.
And so if you can learn to play somebody else, then sometimes you can say, well, what would they say about this product? Or what would they say about this kind of a thing? It makes it it just talking is not always about the words. It's all about your persona, how you carry yourself, your confidence in yourself. And if you can play somebody else, then it's easier to play yourself for real.
I like that. And even with me, with my insurance business, like I'm on the phone constantly, so I can role play an insurance agent that averages maybe $20,000 a week because there are insurance agents that
Mm-hmm.
have that sort of income.
Right,
So I can just imagine the confidence that somebody that has that sort of weekly income has and just take
right.
on that role.
Because it's it it's not about what is real. It's about your posture in making it real.
Yes.
And that is the biggest thing that people don't connect with being in sales or just being, in the human race, is that if you are waiting for life to give you everything for you to act the way you should be for that, then you're going to be waiting a long time. The best way is to act it. What if I was a millionaire? How would I act? What would I wear? What kind of places would I go? How would I carry myself if I, like you said, if you made 20,000 a week? How would What would that look like?
It'll
There's
feel
no
great.
reason that you can't do that now. What would it look like? How would it feel? Start feeling it, because most of the magic is in feeling it first, and then life
Yes,
happens. Life creates it. So
that is
feel it
true.
first.
Yes.
All right, Miss Vidra. Well, it was wonderful to see you. I was hoping Miss Maria or somebody else would pop in, but it's okay. It's the summertime. I know Maria's dealing with a donkey that is not
Oh,
doing well. Did you not read her
okay.
post?
No, I haven't. I'll
Okay.
definitely touch base with her because she did actually reach out to me a few weeks ago about insurance. So
Okay.
I'll just touch base with her.
Yeah, she's just real sad there. Well, she didn't have to put it down, which I think is a good thing, but it's having to have
Okay.
surgery.
Oh, wow.
So, I know that she's having to deal with trying to get a vet and getting it to wherever it is that it needs to have major surgery to save it.
Oh, wow.
So, but when
Well,
you're
I'll
run a
definitely reach out
ranch
to
and you
her.
have livestock, that's kind of the things that she lives with and decides about, and those are one of those things. Another thing, life just said, okay,
Oh, wow.
here's your challenge for today, and she said, the donkey's been limping and it's just gotten to the point that it won't bear weight on the leg at all,
Oh,
and they had to find out why. So, but anyway,
mm.
it's great to meet, and I look forward to our meeting next week, and maybe we'll discuss something different. But until then, I'm in jail, so I'll be sending out emails.
Yes, please email me the invoice. I'll email you my, I'll, in Messenger, I'll text you my email address, for the invoice.
I most of the time do things through PayPal, so I'll send you my PayPal.
Oh,
It'll be
okay.
an invoice through PayPal.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you. This has been fun. Bye.
Yep. Goodbye. See you next
All
week.
right. Next week.
Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.